A woman can want you badly and still never say it directly. Folks, this is where many older men miss the signal. You think she is only being polite. You think she is just making conversation. You tell yourself she is younger, she is busy, she is only friendly, or maybe a woman like that would never look at a man like me that way. But my friend, female desire, does not always arrive loud. Sometimes it comes wrapped in a simple question, a soft glance, a pause in her voice, or a curiosity that feels innocent on the surface. Especially when you are a man over 50, women often test you differently. They do not want to look needy, they do not want to give themselves away too quickly. So, instead of saying "I feel drawn to you," they ask questions that reveal whether you are open, steady, masculine, and aware enough to notice. And here is the part most men never learn. When a woman is attracted to an older man, she is not only looking at his face, his money, or his age. She is feeling his presence. She wants to know if there is room in his world. She wants to know if he still has direction, warmth, and quiet strength. In this video, I will show you the 2 questions women use when they are quietly opening the door to intimacy and how a grounded man should hear them clearly. Let's get into it. Number 1. She tests your desire. Let's be honest, folks. A woman rarely tests a man's desire by asking him if he wants her. That would make things too exposed, too direct, too risky for her feminine nature. When she feels that quiet pull toward an older man, she often hides it inside curiosity. She asks something simple, something that sounds harmless, and then she watches how you respond. Not just what you say, but how steady your voice is, how relaxed your eyes are, how comfortable you are with the tension between you. A woman who craves you wants to know if your desire is awake but controlled. She is not looking for a man who lunges at every signal like he has been starving for attention. She is also not looking for a man so shut down that he acts like attraction is something to apologize for. She is testing whether you can hold desire without becoming needy, nervous, or childish. Think about Robert, 58, sitting at a quiet restaurant in Scottsdale after a business networking event. Across from him is Diane, 47, a divorced woman with a calm smile and sharp eyes. The conversation has already moved past weather and work. She laughs a little longer than necessary. She leans in when he speaks. Then she says, "So do you spend much time alone these days?" Most men hear that and answer like they are filling out a form. "Yes, pretty much." Or "No, I stay busy." And just like that, the moment dies. But Diane was not asking for his schedule. She was testing his desire. She wanted to know if Robert still had room in his life for closeness. She wanted to feel whether he was emotionally available, masculine enough to invite connection, and calm enough not to pounce on it. A better man hears the question beneath the question. He does not brag. He does not confess loneliness. He does not turn it into a desperate speech about how hard dating is now. He smiles, holds his ground, and says, "I enjoy my space, but the right company can make an evening better." That answer does something powerful. It tells her he has a life. It tells her he is open. It tells her he can feel attraction without begging for it. My friend, this is the balance women test for. Desire without desperation, warmth without weakness, openness without emptiness. An older man becomes deeply attractive when he can let a woman feel that he notices her, but he is not controlled by her attention. That is where masculine presence begins. Many men over 50 make the mistake of hiding their desire completely because they do not want to seem inappropriate. So they become too safe, too neutral, too polite. But attraction does not grow in a room with no heat. It grows when there is calm tension, mutual awareness, and a man who is not afraid of the energy between him and a woman. She is testing whether you can see the invitation without making it cheap. If you ignore it, she may assume you are not interested. If you overreact, she may feel unsafe. But if you respond with calm desire, she feels something rare. She feels seen without being pressured, and that is where everything quietly begins. That is the kind of desire women respect. Not loud, not hungry, not reckless. Steady, present, controlled. If you have ever missed a signal because you thought she was just being friendly, write this in the comments. I see desire. Stay with me because the next part will show you how she reads your masculinity before she ever lets herself move closer. Number 2. She reads your masculinity. Here is what most men miss, folks. A woman does not only listen to your answer, she reads the man behind the answer. She reads your pause. She reads your eyes. She reads whether you become nervous when the conversation turns personal. She reads whether you rush to impress her or whether you can stay relaxed while desire is quietly moving between you. Masculinity in this moment is not about being loud. It is not about acting dominant, showing off, or trying to prove that you still have options. Real masculinity is steadiness. It is the ability to remain present when a woman places a small emotional test in front of you. She wants to know if you can feel the tension without losing yourself inside it. This is why those simple questions matter so much. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" she is not only checking your availability, she is watching how masculine your energy feels when closeness becomes possible. Do you shrink away from the moment? Do you become too eager? Do you give a flat answer that kills the warmth? Or do you stand calmly in the opening she has created? Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That is not just a quote for war business or hardship. It applies right here, in the quiet space between a man and a woman. Her question is the outside event. Your reaction is where your power lives. A grounded man does not panic when a woman becomes curious. He does not turn cold because he fears rejection. He does not start performing because he wants approval. He stays in command of himself. That is what she feels. That is what makes her lean in. Women are deeply sensitive to emotional control because it tells them whether a man can handle intimacy without becoming unstable. My friend, a woman may be drawn to your age, your experience, your voice, or the way you carry yourself, but she keeps watching for something deeper. She wants to feel whether your masculine presence can hold her feminine uncertainty, because when a woman is interested, she is often balancing two forces inside herself. She wants to move closer, but she does not want to feel foolish. She wants to be noticed, but not exposed. She wants warmth, but not pressure. That is why your calm matters. If your answer feels too hungry, she senses need. If it feels too cold, she senses rejection. But if it feels steady, direct, and lightly warm, she senses safety. And safety, folks, is not boring. For a mature woman, safety is often what allows desire to deepen. Stoicism teaches a man to master his reaction before trying to influence the world. In attraction, that means you do not chase every signal. You do not collapse into every silence. You do not treat her curiosity as a prize you must grab before it disappears. You simply stay aware. You listen beneath the words. You answer with calm strength. So when she tests your masculinity, understand this clearly. She is not asking you to be perfect. She is asking whether you are awake. She is asking whether you can recognize desire without cheapening it. She is asking whether you can stand in your own frame while still making room for her. If you are ready to stop reacting and start reading the moment, write this in the comments. I stay steady. Stick with me because the next part reveals the first question she uses to see if there is room for her in your world. Number 3. She checks your availability. Here is the truth, folks. When a woman asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" she is not making random conversation. She is checking access. She is trying to feel whether there is space in your life, inside your heart, your routines, your private world. Most men over 50 hear that question and answer too literally. They say, "Yes, I live alone," or "No, I stay busy," or "I do not get out much." And my friend, those answers may be honest, but they miss the deeper moment. She is not asking for a report. She is asking whether she could fit beside you without forcing herself in. Think about Thomas, 59, a retired firefighter in Nashville. He meets Karen, 51, at a small jazz bar after a friend invites them both out. Karen notices his calm voice, his worn hands, the way he does not interrupt when she speaks. She is drawn to his steadiness, but she does not want to come across too forward. So after a few minutes of easy conversation, she tilts her head and asks, "Do you spend most nights by yourself?" Thomas could ruin that moment with a dead answer. He could say, "Yeah, pretty much," and stare into his drink. That would make Karen feel like she had knocked on a locked door. Or he could unload his loneliness, telling her how hard dating has been, how women do not understand him, how empty the house feels. That would make the door swing open too fast, and she would step back. But a grounded man understands balance. He might smile and say, "I like my quiet, but I am not closed to the right company." That sentence carries warmth without need. It tells her his life is not desperate for rescue. It also tells her there is a place for a woman who brings peace. That is what availability really means. It does not mean being free every night. It does not mean waiting around for a woman to give your life excitement. It means you are open enough to receive closeness, but solid enough that you do not depend on it. Women can sense the difference. A man who is too closed feels cold. A man who is too available feels empty. But a man who has a full life and still leaves room for connection feels magnetic. He becomes a space she wants to enter, not a problem she has to fix. This is especially powerful with older men. By the time a man reaches his 50s or 60s, a woman knows he has history. She assumes he has habits, memories, past relationships, private routines, maybe even old wounds he does not talk about. So when she asks about solitude, she is asking, are you still alive to connection, or have you locked yourself behind your past? Do not be ashamed of solitude. Solitude can make a man deeper. It can sharpen him. It can give him patience, perspective, and self-respect. But solitude becomes unattractive when it turns into isolation. If you sound like you have no room left for anyone, she will believe you. If you sound like you need anyone to fill the room, she will feel it. So when she checks your availability, answer with calm openness. Let her feel that your door is not wide open for everyone, but it is not sealed shut either. That is the energy that makes a woman wonder what it would feel like to be invited closer. If you have ever answered too cold or too needy, write this in the comments. I stay open. Stay tuned, because the next part will show you how to answer without sounding lonely. Number 4. She wants calm confidence. Listen closely, folks, because this is where men ruin a moment. When a woman asks whether you spend much time alone, she is not begging you to open the door. She is checking whether the door can open without falling off its hinges. She wants calm confidence, not emotional hunger. She wants to feel that you are available, but not empty. Interested, but not desperate. Warm, but in control. A woman can feel the difference in seconds. If you answer with nervous laughter, too much explanation, or a long speech about how lonely life has been, she feels pressure. If you answer coldly, like you do not care whether anyone comes close, she feels rejected. But when you answer with relaxed certainty, something in her body softens. She feels that you are a man with space, but also standards. That is the key, my friend. Calm confidence tells her, I can welcome you, but I do not need you to rescue me. I can enjoy your presence, but I am not starving for it. I can notice the attraction between us without turning it into a performance. That kind of restraint is deeply masculine because it shows self-command. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That wisdom fits this moment perfectly. If your mood depends on whether she approves of you, you are not free. If one little question from her makes you spill your whole emotional life, you are not in command. If you become cold because you fear wanting her, you are still controlled by fear. A steady man does not swing between neediness and distance. He stands in the middle with quiet strength. So how should you answer? Keep it simple. Keep it grounded. You might say, I enjoy my own company, but I always make room for someone who brings peace. Or I like my routines, but the right woman can make life feel richer. Notice the tone. It is not begging. It is not pretending. It is open, but selective. That is what she wants to hear. Not because the words are magic, but because the energy behind them tells the truth. Most men think attraction is created by saying the perfect line. It is not. Attraction is created when your words, your body, and your emotional state all say the same thing. If your mouth says you are confident, but your energy says you are anxious, she will believe the energy. Women read tension, hesitation, and hidden need. They may not explain it that way, but they feel it. This is why Stoicism matters in relationships. It trains you to pause before reacting. It teaches you to own your inner state before trying to win anyone outside of you. When you answer her with calm confidence, you are not trying to manipulate her. You are simply showing her that you are not ruled by loneliness, fear, or validation. You are a man who can feel desire and remain centered. And folks, if this kind of message is helping you become sharper, calmer, and more aware with women, consider joining as a channel member. Members support deeper lessons like this, and they become part of a group of men committed to presence, self-respect, and masculine growth. So remember this. She wants to know if she can come closer without carrying your emptiness. Give her warmth, give her clarity, give her calm, but never hand her the burden of completing you. If you are ready to answer with strength instead of need, write this in the comments. I stay calm. Stay with me because the next part reveals the second question she asks when she wants to know if your life has direction. Number 5. She probes your direction. Let's be clear, folks. When a woman asks, "What are you looking for these days?" she is not just making small talk. She is not asking because she needs a life update. She is probing your direction. She is trying to feel whether you are still moving with purpose or whether you are just drifting through the second half of life with no fire left inside you. This question carries more weight than most men realize. A woman may be attracted to your calm, your voice, your experience, even the way you carry yourself. But before she lets herself move closer, she wants to know something deeper. Does this man know where he is going? Does he have emotional direction? Does he have space for love, desire, connection, and meaning? Or is he only passing time, filling days and hiding behind routines? Think about Michael, 57, a divorced architect in Denver. He meets Susan, 49, at a charity dinner. She notices that he is not loud, but he has presence. He listens well. He does not rush to impress her. After a while, the conversation turns personal, and she asks, "So what are you looking for these days?" Now, Michael could answer like many men do. He could shrug and say, "I do not know, just taking life as it comes." It sounds relaxed, but to Susan, it may feel empty. It may tell her he is not leading his own life. Or he could say, "I am just looking for peace," which may be honest, but if said without strength, it can sound like a man who has given up on passion. But a man with direction answers differently. He might say, "I am building a simpler, stronger chapter with people who bring real value into it." That answer does not chase her. It does not beg her to imagine herself there, but it gives her a doorway. It tells her he is not stuck. He is not asleep. He is still choosing, still moving, still alive inside. That is what women are listening for, my friend. They are not looking for a perfect plan. They are looking for life force. A woman wants to feel that if she steps closer, she is stepping toward a man with a center, not a man waiting to be rescued. Not a man carrying old bitterness like a badge. Not a man who says he wants connection but still lives emotionally locked in the past. When she asks what you are looking for, she is also measuring emotional leadership. Can you speak about your life without sounding lost? Can you express desire without sounding desperate? Can you want companionship without making it her job to fix your loneliness? These things matter because mature attraction is not built on games. It is built on the feeling that a man knows himself. And do not miss this part. A woman may feel physical attraction first, but she moves toward presence. Your direction tells her what your presence will feel like. If your answer feels vague, she hesitates. If your answer feels heavy, she steps back. But if your answer carries calm purpose, she begins to imagine what it would be like to walk beside you. So when she probes your direction, do not over-explain. Do not list every goal, every wound, every disappointment. Give her clarity. Give her warmth. Give her the sense that your life is not over and your best chapter still has room for something meaningful. If you understand that direction creates desire, write this in the comments. I move forward. Let's keep going because the next part will show you how masculine clarity turns her curiosity into real attraction. Number 6. She craves masculine clarity. Make no mistake, folks. A woman does not crave confusion. She may be patient. She may be gentle. She may give a man time to reveal himself. But deep down, when she feels drawn to an older man, she is listening for clarity. She wants to feel that you know who you are, what you want, and what kind of life you are still building. That is why the question, "What are you looking for these days?" is so powerful. It is not about your hobbies. It is not about whether you are dating casually or seriously. Beneath the surface, she is asking, are you awake inside? Are you moving with intention? Is there a direction in you that I can trust? Masculine clarity does not mean you have every answer. It does not mean you control every outcome. Stoicism never taught men to control the future. It taught men to govern themselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So if your thoughts are scattered, bitter, uncertain, or stuck in the past, your presence will carry that color. She will feel it before you explain anything. A woman can sense when a man is emotionally drifting. He may have money, he may have experience, he may have stories. But if he speaks like life is simply happening to him, she feels no anchor. And feminine desire does not relax around a man with no anchor. It may feel curious for a moment, but it will not feel safe enough to deepen. So when she asks what you are looking for, do not answer like a man who has given up. Do not say, "I am just taking things day by day," if what you mean is that you have no vision. Do not say, "I just want peace," if your tone carries exhaustion instead of strength. Peace is powerful when it comes from discipline. It is unattractive when it sounds like escape. Give her a clean answer, something steady, something alive. You might say, "I am focused on building a simpler, stronger life with the right people in it." Or, "I am looking for connection that feels natural, honest, and worth my time." Or, "I am choosing more meaning now, better conversations, better company, better moments." Do you hear the difference, my friend? Those answers do not chase her. They do not pressure her. They do not reveal your entire heart like a man begging to be understood. They show direction. They show standards. They show that your life has movement, and that a woman who enters it must add to that movement, not drain it. Epictetus said, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That is masculine clarity. A man decides the kind of life he is shaping, then his words align with that decision. He does not wait for a woman to define his value. He does not change his answer to please her. He speaks from a place already rooted inside him. And here is what makes clarity attractive. It gives a woman room to imagine herself beside you without feeling like she must lead you. She can sense that you are not floating, you are not begging, you are not hiding. You are present, grounded, and still becoming. That is what she craves. Not perfection, not performance, clarity. A man who can say what he wants without sounding desperate and hold his direction without closing his heart. If you are ready to speak with clarity instead of confusion, write this in the comments. I speak clearly. Do not go anywhere, because the next part shows why desire deepens when openness and direction come together. Number 7. Her desire needs safety. Here is the part many men misunderstand, folks. Safety does not kill desire. Weakness kills desire. Neediness kills desire. Confusion kills desire. But real safety, the kind that comes from a grounded masculine presence, is often what allows a woman to feel her desire more fully. When a woman asks those two questions, she is not just gathering information, She is checking whether coming closer to you would feel safe. Not boring safe, not dull safe. I mean emotionally safe, physically safe, and psychologically safe. She wants to know if you can hold attraction without pressuring her. She wants to know if you can be open without becoming needy. She wants to know if your life has direction, so she does not feel like she is stepping into chaos. Think about David, 62, a widowed business owner in Charleston. He meets Rachel, 54, at a weekend cooking class. She notices that he is composed, polite, and quietly confident. He does not try to dominate the room. He does not chase every laugh. He simply carries himself like a man who has lived, learned, and still has warmth left in him. During a break, Rachel asks him, "Do you spend much time alone?" Later, as they walk toward the parking lot, she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" On the surface, these sound like simple questions, but beneath them she is checking two things. Is there space for me? And is there strength in him? If David answers like a man who is closed off, Rachel will feel distance. If he answers like a man starving for companionship, she will feel pressure. But if he answers with calm, openness, and clear direction, she feels something different. She feels that she can relax. She feels that his world has a door but not a trap. She feels that his desire has warmth but not hunger. That is what safety does. It lets her soften. It lets her imagine closeness without feeling exposed. A woman may notice your body, your voice, your confidence, or your experience, but she only moves deeper when her nervous system feels that you are steady. She wants to feel that if she reveals interest, you will not misuse it. If she leans closer, you will not rush. If she opens emotionally, you will not make her regret it. My friend, this is why openness and direction must work together. Openness without direction feels weak. Direction without openness feels cold. But when a man has both, he becomes deeply compelling. He has enough warmth to invite her in, and enough structure to make her feel protected. Women do not need perfect men. They need men who are awake, aware, and stable. They need men who can notice subtle desire without acting like boys who just discovered attention. Especially with older men, women expect more depth. They expect a man to understand timing, restraint, and emotional weight. So if she asks about your solitude, show her there is room. If she asks about your direction, show her you are still moving. Do not overtalk. Do not perform. Do not turn her question into a confession. Just give her calm truth. Let her feel that you are available but not desperate, clear but not rigid, interested but not uncontrolled. That is the safety that awakens desire. It tells her this man can be close without losing himself. And that, folks, is rare. If you understand that real safety creates deeper attraction, write this in the comments: I create safety. Stay with me because the next part reveals the weak answers that quietly destroy attraction before it has a chance to grow. Number 8. Weak answers kill attraction. Here is the hard truth. Folks, attraction does not always die because a woman stops feeling something. Sometimes it dies because a man answers the moment poorly. She opens a small door, asks a question, and he treats it like paperwork. He gives a flat answer, a vague answer, or a needy answer, and the warmth disappears before he understands it. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" a weak answer sounds like, "Yeah, pretty much. Nothing going on." Or, "I guess I am just used to being alone." That may be honest, but it carries no masculine warmth. It feels shut down. It tells her there may be no room for her, or worse, that if she steps in, she might be stepping into emotional emptiness. On the other side, a needy answer is just as damaging. Saying, "Yes, I am alone all the time and it gets really hard and I wish I had someone around," may sound vulnerable, but too soon it feels heavy. She asked a question to test openness, not to become responsible for your loneliness. A woman wants to feel invited. She does not want to feel drafted into the job of rescuing you. The same thing happens with the second question. When she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" she is listening for direction. A weak answer says, "I do not know, just seeing what happens," or "I am just trying to survive." Or I guess peace, nothing more. My friend, there is nothing wrong with wanting peace, but if peace sounds like surrender, she hears that your fire has gone out. Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the man who does not know to what port he sails." That line cuts straight into this moment. If you do not know where your life is headed, how can a woman feel safe imagining herself beside you? If your answer has no direction, she does not feel mystery. She feels uncertainty. And uncertainty without strength does not create desire. It creates hesitation. A strong answer does not need to be long. In fact, too many words can weaken the energy. You do not need to tell her your whole past, your heartbreaks, your disappointments, or every plan you are building. You only need to communicate that you are open, steady, and moving with intention. For the first question, you might say, "I enjoy my space, but I make room for the right kind of company." For the second, you might say, "I am building a stronger chapter with people who bring real meaning into it." Those answers work because they show warmth and standards. They tell her, you are not closed, but you are not empty. You are not lost, but you are not rigid. Stoicism teaches a man to respond from principle, not impulse. A weak man answers from fear. He fears losing the moment, so he over-explains. He fears rejection, so he acts cold. He fears being alone, so he reveals too much too soon. A steady man does none of that. He pauses. He hears the deeper question. He answers like a man who is not begging to be chosen. Understand this clearly. A woman's question is often a bridge. A weak answer breaks the bridge. A calm answer lets her step closer. She is not expecting perfection from you. She is expecting awareness. She wants to know if you can handle the subtle invitation without dropping it. If you are done killing attraction with weak answers, write this in the comments. I answer strong. Stick with me because the next part shows how to notice the exact moment she opens the door to something deeper. Number 9. She opens the door. Face this clearly, folks. A woman who feels drawn to you will not always walk through the door first. Most of the time she opens it enough to see whether you notice. She gives you a question, a look, a softer tone, a small pause after your answer. Then she waits. Not because she is playing childish games, but because feminine desire often protects itself before it reveals itself. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" that door has opened a little. When she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" the door opens wider. She is not only talking, she is giving you a chance to meet her in the space between friendship and intimacy. And my friend, this is the moment many men miss because they are listening to words instead of reading energy. Picture James, 61, a retired airline pilot in Phoenix. He is talking with Laura, 52, after a community fundraiser. The room is loud, but their conversation has become focused. Laura is not rushing away. She laughs softly, touches her glass, and keeps turning toward him. Then she says, "You seem like a man who enjoys his own space. Do you spend a lot of time alone?" That is not just a question. That is a door. If James answers coldly, Laura steps back. If he answers heavily, she feels pressure. But if he smiles and says, "I enjoy my space, but I make room for good company," he steps onto the bridge she placed in front of him. He does not force the moment. He does not chase. He simply shows that he is aware. Later, as they walk toward the exit, Laura asks, "What are you looking for at this stage of life?" Now the door is not just cracked open. She is checking whether there is a path inside his world. She wants to feel if his life has room, direction, warmth, and steadiness. James does not need a speech. He might say, "I am building a quieter, stronger life, and I am open to connection that feels real." This is what older men must understand. Women rarely offer the same emotional invitation twice. If she opens the door and you act asleep, she may not punish you. She may not show disappointment. She will simply close it quietly and return to polite conversation. That is how many men lose a moment they never knew they had. A woman opening the door does not mean she is asking you to rush. It means she is checking whether you can enter with presence. A boy rushes in because he is excited to be wanted. A man steps in calmly because he understands the weight of the invitation. That calm step makes her feel safe, desired, and respected. So pay attention to the whole moment. Notice the question, but also notice the timing. Did she ask after the conversation became warmer? Did her voice soften? Did she stay close when she could have left? Did she look at you like she wanted more than information? These are not guarantees, but they are signals. A grounded man reads signals with restraint. When she opens the door, your job is not to impress her. Your job is to meet the moment. Warm eyes, calm voice, simple words. No begging, no over-explaining, no pretending you do not feel the tension. Let her feel that you noticed and that you are steady enough to handle it. If you are ready to notice the door when it opens, write this in the comments: I see openings. Stay with me because the next part will show you how to lead with presence once she has revealed her interest. Number 10. She wants your presence. Here is where everything comes together, folks. A woman may ask about your solitude. She may ask what you are looking for these days. She may circle around your availability, your direction, your emotional warmth, and your masculine clarity. But beneath all of it, she is searching for one thing: your presence. Not your performance, not your money, not a speech about how experienced you are, not some forced attempt to prove you are still desirable. She wants to feel that you are actually there, awake, calm, aware, strong enough to notice her interest, but disciplined enough not to cheapen it. Presence is what separates a mature man from a man who only got older. Age alone does not create attraction. Experience alone does not make a woman feel safe. A man can be over 50 and still react like a boy when a woman gives him attention. He can become too eager, too nervous, too hungry, or too afraid to say anything real. That is not presence. That is reaction. Presence means you are not lost in your head while she is standing in front of you. You are not rehearsing lines. You are not trying to calculate every move. You are listening. You are reading the space. You are feeling the tone beneath her words. You are aware of the quiet invitation without grabbing at it. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" presence hears more than the sentence. It hears the softness behind it. It notices the timing. It feels the emotional doorway. When she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" presence understands that she is not asking for a schedule. She is asking whether your life has room, direction, and depth. This is why a woman can feel drawn to an older man in a way she does not fully understand. His presence makes her body relax and her mind become curious. He does not need to chase her attention. He does not need to flood the space with words. He simply carries himself like a man who knows his own weight. And that is rare. Too many men confuse presence with talking more. They think they need the perfect answer, the perfect joke, the perfect story. But a woman does not remember only what you said. She remembers how she felt while you were saying it. Did she feel seen? Did she feel rushed? Did she feel like you were trying to take something from her? Or did she feel like you could hold the moment without losing control? My friend, this is the heart of female psychology. A woman opens slowly when she feels both desire and safety. She wants to know that you notice her, but she also wants to know that you can stay steady. She wants warmth, not pressure, direction, not confusion, confidence, not arrogance, desire, not desperation. So stop treating her questions like ordinary small talk. They are emotional signals. They are small tests of your awareness. They are her way of asking, can this man feel me without overwhelming me? Can he invite me closer without needing me to complete him? Can he lead with calm instead of hunger? That is what she wants from you. Your presence, your steady attention, your ability to stand in the moment, like a man who is not begging for approval and not hiding from attraction. If you remember nothing else from this lesson, remember this. She does not test your words first. She tests the man behind them. And when your presence is strong, calm, and awake, her questions become easier to understand. Her signals become clearer. Her desire becomes something you can meet with dignity. If you are ready to lead with presence, write this in the comments. I stay present. Folks, today you learned that when a woman feels drawn to an older man, she does not always say it directly. She often tests him through simple questions that reveal something deeper. When she asks about your time alone, she is checking your openness. When she asks what you are looking for these days, she is checking your direction. And behind both questions, she is really trying to feel your presence, your calm, your awareness, and your masculine clarity. Remember this, my friend, a woman does not only listen to your words, she feels the man behind them. If you want deeper lessons on Stoicism, female psychology, self-respect, and masculine presence, consider joining as a channel member. Your support helps us build stronger content for men who want to grow with dignity. And if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel for more daily lessons like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.